name is Noelle, and I'm going to be teaching you how I do a 20-ish minute makeup tutorial that I pretty much do every day for work. So I have nothing on my face right now. I'm completely bare skinned. So I'm going to start off with Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I like this one because it's a moisturizer and a primer. After moisturizer, I'm going to go in with this SPF. This is the Murad Hydration Invisibler Perfecting Shield Broad Spectrum SPF 30. And today I'm going to be using the YSL All Hours Foundation. I just got this from Sephora as well. It's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer in the shade 33. It does have a little bit of a peachier undertone, so if I have time, I will put an eyeshadow primer on if I'm planning on doing eyeshadow. But on a day-to-day basis, I usually don't bother. As you've noticed, I haven't put too much makeup on my nose. I don't like to put too much makeup on my nose just because on the one hand, it is oilier than the rest of my skin, and throughout the day, it breaks up anyway. If you want to brighten things up, actually gonna go in with, you could use the same concealer brush. It's a little bit more precise. You don't have to use any particular brushes or even the same products that I'm using. You can use anything you have, mostly showing you the techniques I use for just a simple everyday look. This is the Clé de Peau concealer in the shade Mocha. I really like this concealer. I'm just gonna add it to a few areas where I just want a little bit more coverage. You could even use your fingers for this. I just like to use a stick concealer because it just stays in those areas better and provides a little bit fuller coverage, but it's also on the more matte side. So a matte finish is usually the best when you want to hide any imperfections. You don't want any the hyperpigmentation or texture emphasized. I'm gonna go in with this little triangle makeup sponge thing that I got from Amazon. This is the Bobbi Brown Sheer Finish Pressed Powder in the shade Pale Yellow. I like this because it's quite brightening. First, you want to go in and make sure you don't have any creases, because if you put powder right on top of any creases, they're gonna pretty much stay put. For the rest of my face, I'm going to be using, this is the Chanel powder in the shade 30. I like to put a good amount of powder on my nose just because I wear glasses throughout the day, sunglasses, and that'll prevent those marks from really messing up that area as much as you can help it. Next, I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. It's the 7B brush. Has a quite sharp edge here, which is why I like it for eyebrows. I'm going to go and start with medium brown, the brow powder duo by Anastasia. And I'm going to first start out with the shade on the left. It's the lighter shade of the two. And I'm going to start out kind of towards the inner part of the brow, the bottom portion. I'll kind of make little strokes upward. So next I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer in the shade 2 Medium. So I'm going to start off with taking this bronzer up on my cheekbone, as you can see. Adding some dimension. You can just do this with any bronzer you have. It could be a powder bronzer as well. I like to go in initially and do cream products just because they do give a pretty natural appearance and it helps your makeup kind of last and stay put all day. And it doesn't have to be a heavy amount. In fact, I like to go in with lighter layers and build as I go as needed. And that's really the key to your makeup not looking super heavy or cakey. A face trace contour stick, and I'm just gonna add a little bit the cheekbone area and a little bit under the jawline. If you want that defined look. Otherwise, you can totally skip this step. You don't have to contour. I do it if I have time. I don't do it every day. I'm gonna take the Westman Atelier blush in the shade Popette. It's this nice bright pinky blush. You could put this blush wherever suits your face the best. I kind of just... Next, I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of a powder bronzer. I'm gonna be using the Victoria Beckham one. Go over that Charlotte Tilbury bronzer that we put down in the same kind of an area. And really it's also helping to set the cream powder, the cream bronzer and contour that we had put there previously. For the eyes, I usually don't have time to do eyeshadow before going to work every morning, but for today's sake, I'm going to show you what I would do if I did do eyeshadow. For today's look, I want to try out this new Artist Couture eyeshadow creams. I like cream eyeshadows because they're really easy to put on, and once you find a good one and done kind of shade, it's quick and easy. I do have Lashify on. They're little lash clusters I stuck on underneath my real lashes, if you're wondering. So that's another reason why I like using creams, is because they don't tend to have fallout. And you can use any shade you want really for this initial step. Really pretty how it reflects the light off the lids. A little bit of powder blush on top of the cream blush that we put on previously, just like I said, to lock everything in place. And blush is kind of the first thing that fades throughout the day, so it's okay to make sure it stands out. A little bit of this highlighter I got from Clé de Peau in Golden Galaxy 202. It's a really gorgeous highlighter. So I'm just gonna go in with this smaller brush. This one's the Makeup by Mario E5. I'm gonna go into the lighter shade in this highlighter, and I'm just gonna put a little bit in this inner corner. It really brightens up that inner corner. You can take any similar shade. It could be in an eyeshadow palette you have, just a white sparkly shade, or like a champagne-y shade. Up here at the top of my eyebrows, on that brow bone I mean. Just give it a little bit of a pop. This is an optional step. Usually I don't have time for this either. Take this little mini Pat McGrath palette. It's the mini eyeshadow palette in Sublime Smoke. And I'll go in with liner brush. And I'm gonna go into the darkest shade, this one right here, and just follow along the lash line really tight up against that lash line. I like to take it kind of all the way in. It helps define the eye and elongate it. Perfect, let's do that. Normally this is how I would just leave it because I wouldn't have time to do more eyeliner if I'm running late. But I always make sure to put at least a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes. This one's the Hourglass Unlocked in Ultra Black Instant Extensions mascara. I like this since it's a tubing mascara, so it really does stay put once it dries, and it doesn't give me raccoon eyes throughout the day. I find that tubing mascaras don't bleed or flake. If you're going to use setting spray, I would recommend using setting spray before the mascara. With the tubing mascara, it doesn't matter too much because it really doesn't run regardless. I just do a couple sprays. And when I'm not explaining everything, I promise this does go faster. If your setting spray left you any big chunks, just make sure to kind of go ahead and take your beauty blender, your foundation brush. If your eyeliner does smudge a little bit, kind of like it did right there, even though I told you guys it didn't, oops, you take a little spoolie and scrape it away. No big deal. And then I go back in with the highlighter and a little pointy brush. You can use any brush you want, but I like to use a smaller brush for this area just to hit the tip of those cheekbones. Oh, this is such a pretty highlighter. I don't go into any particular color, I just mix them. And I just hit the tip of those cheekbones. I don't, or the top of the cheekbones, I don't really go crazy with the highlighter. Whatever's left on the brush, which isn't much. And I hit the tip of my chin and the tip of my nose. So I'm going to be using I brought out MAC Whirl and the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Liner in Hazelnut. Let's start out with that one. So I like to overline my Cupid's bow. But not too much on the rest of the lips. When I overline, I mostly just keep it up at the top of the Cupid's bow, but you can do whatever works for you and your lip shape. And then today we'll go in with this. This is the Tom Ford Naked Haze. It's the new liquid lipstick that came out. I like it because it's pretty weightless, but it stays on all day. It has really good staying power. It's in Cork by MAC, and it's more brown, more of a darker brown. I will go in with a fiber brow gel. This one's the Dior in the shade 032 or 32. It's the brown one. And it just kind of gives them more of like a fuller, fluffy look. I like to experiment with different brow products. I don't necessarily do them the same exact way every time. Just mostly whatever I grab in the morning. a little bit too intense, like right here. Went a little overboard. You can just take a clean spoolie and kind of take some of that off. So I don't like it to be too intense towards the center of the brows. As a final touch, I'll go in 5 times with a brow pen and just kind of fill those in. This one's kind of on its last leg. I just sort of elongate the tail of the brow a little bit, fill in any other gaps. And there you have it. Everyday makeup look. I hope you guys liked it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And if you have any other specific looks that you want me to do, let me know. Bye, everyone.